to One-on-One with Jane. I'm your host. And today I have Ryan. Ryan, what got you into comedy?
Well, the reason I got into comedy is I couldn't quite cut it as a male stripper.
Oh, so, you tried that outlet before and you hated it?
I didn't hate it, I just, the audience hated it.
Oh, well, I thought you'd draw more girls that way than doing stand-up comedy.
No, mostly just gay dudes.
Oh, well, anyways, do you think actually you got into comedy because you want to do the casting couch? Because I don't have a casting couch here, but...
Well, that's a totally different show, but, I don't, actually, I think the reason I got into comedy is, I want to be center of attention. And there's no other form of performance art that is more like, solo than stand-up comedy. I mean, you got, plays, there's the cast, you got, if you're in a band, there's the other band members, but, being on stage, just doing jokes, you're the only one up there, there's no more center of attention than that.
Yeah, I feel like when people are on stage, they get that ultimate high. Do you ever feel like you got that ultimate high?
Yeah, especially when you're on meth.
Well, natural high, that's what I meant. Yeah, so I feel like when I did some stage work, it's funny, like you feel like you're so powerful on stage, then you can't get that comedy.
Yeah, and then you get off the stage and you realize you're broke.
What's your favorite joke that you've said that worked out well?
Well, I've got a lot of favorite jokes, but one of the ones that's been working for me lately is I do a bit where I talk about I was dating this girl and she's got kids, and she told me one day, she's like, you know what, I'm really looking for you to be the father of my children. And I was like, well, that's not possible because you know my name. But, I tend to do, most of my humor is kind of these one-liners and stuff like that, and they don't necessarily relate to each other or even necessarily have a true story. It's just stuff I make up. But I kind of draw my inspiration from, Stephen Wright is one of my favorite comedians because, he's told these quick jokes, he moved on to the next one, and there was, a lot of laughs per minute with Stephen Wright. And, it's probably because I got a little ADD. I just like to keep it short and simple.
So when you do your comedy, I keep thinking, do you actually do it in the middle, or do you go, like some people go not fast, not slow, in the middle? I feel like if a comedian says something really fast, they're skipping over their words.
Well, my primary profession is I'm a salesman, so I do tend to find that when I'm on stage, I try to be very deliberate with my words. Just kind of, that's how I've learned to speak. That makes me money. It's just be slow and deliberate. Plus if you're slow and deliberate, you turn 15 minutes into 20 minutes.
Oh, that's good.
So.
Do you actually time yourself? Because there are some comedians that look at, they're looking back and forth.
Well, yeah, I'll look at my watch, but I have some jokes written on my hand if I forget. So it looks like I'm looking at my watch, but it's a little trick I have. But if I time myself, it's with my phone.
Do you ever feel nervous or shy before going on stage?
No, never. I get excited. I was only nervous and shy the first few times. It's like sex. Once you get past the first couple times, then you're just gung ho to do it. But unlike sex, I don't have to pay for it.
Did any girls ever pick you up after the show?
I'm too big for them.
Oh, okay.
No, there's been a few shows where had the rock star experience afterwards, but I won't kiss and tell.
Oh, okay. Did anyone ever heckle you before in the show?
Oh yeah, no. Heckling is definitely a big part of comedy. Unfortunately, some clubs, if you work a club, a lot of times you're not gonna get heckled because clubs are very good about kind of weeding out hecklers, having an anti-heckling policy. But I do a lot of bar shows, do a lot of VFW halls, things like that, where you get drunk people that are gonna yell stuff out. So everyone wants to be a part of the show, and they think a lot of times they're not trying to be mean. They think they're helping, but they're not funny. It's I recently had one where this woman that she was craving to be a part of the show, so she would yell out, and a lot of my jokes tend to not relate to each other. I just go from one to the next. And so I did a joke about having a girlfriend, and then my very next joke was just about me being single. And she yells out, "I thought you had a girlfriend." And I looked at her for a second and I'm like, none of this is real. Like, do you, like, this is fantasy land. I was actually in front of a backdrop of like it was like a city street. And I turned around, like, this isn't a real city, you know, this is, and yeah, it kind of shut her up a little bit. Everyone was laughing at that.
So, do you think you could actually come up with jokes just like that, or do you actually write up your
I've done
material?
improv. You know, actually, I was doing scenes from a hat in an improv troupe, and one of the scenes was, you know, if you're familiar with like whose line it is, anyways, and they just pull things out. Like, and my scene was, your father is dating your kindergarten teacher, and I just simply said, "Hey, smell my finger paints." And I got a pretty big laugh from that.
Oh, wow. Did you ever feel like someone was gonna punch you off for saying something rude?
Oh, you like an altercation? I've had a couple where I felt like it was close. There was a guy that came up to me after the show. He was a big time heckler, and I just got very boisterous with him. I wasn't even trying to be funny. I just told him to shut the fuck up and, you know, get the hell out of here type stuff. Because he was not just me; it was the other comedians that he was giving crap to.
Did problems start that way?
What's that?
Did problems start when he actually said, "Shut the fuck up"?
Well, I mean, he started the problem by being a pain in the ass.
Oh.
But he came up to me after the show, and I was like, when he came up to me, I was like, oh, finally it's gonna happen. Someone's gonna take a swing at me. But
oh, wow.
fortunately for him, he didn't. But then he's proceeded to tell me how I was the worst comedian he's ever seen in his life. And, you know, I responded by saying, "Oh, yeah, well," I was throwing stuff out there. I'm like, I'm a male model. I do comedy. I make like over $100,000 a year in show business. And he bought it. And he's like, "Oh, really? Wow. Well, I could see you being a model because you're an attractive guy." But so I got this guy to like calm down and admit that I was attractive before he left the room. So I feel like I won there.
Oh, that's good. So thanks a lot for your time. I really appreciate it.
Okay. Thanks, Jane. Thanks for having me out.
Take care.